Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're taking a look at a silver quarter. This is the visual aid, excuse me, for today's video, a 1963 90% silver quarter. I got this one from my mommy. That's right. When I saw my mom, she said, "Hey, found a silver quarter in my change, and here you go. I know you like silver, so shout out to my mom." My mom was a banker most of her life. Definitely saw lots of silver. No one really cared. You know what I mean? Like, I've had that discussion with her before. Like, maybe a teller or two might pluck it out if they see it, but it wasn't really like a thing. Back then, there wasn't a whole lot of coin hunters, really, going in and asking for stuff like that. They existed, of course, everywhere, but I feel like there's way more coin hunters now when there's almost no silver in circulation. It's crazy. Since 1965, people have been taking this out of circulation, knowing that it has value, more so than its face value. But anyway, with silver's price today, this is a lot more than 25 cents. But today, like I said, it's our visual aid, so let's go ahead and give a zoom on there while I ramble for a minute. And I want to talk about silver prices. You saw the title. Why does silver price not matter? Why doesn't it matter? Well, obviously it matters a little. If you're looking to buy the silver, it matters. If you're looking to sell the silver, it matters. But here's what I really mean by that is that most of you watching the video, most of the people who stack, they want to keep stacking. It's very, very, very rare that people sell their entire stack. Some people do. Some people find out they have, they get bad, news from their doctor. Hey, something's going on, not looking good. Might have an idea that we might, pass away soon, that kind of thing. And then, all right, you sell all your silver, give the money to your family, whatever. But like a lot of people, you just live your life. You don't know when you get to die. So you end up just dying with your stack. Because a lot of people who stack, it's a lifelong thing. It's a lifelong hobby. Generally speaking, people don't stack for 10, 15 years and then just stop. A lot of people just do it forever until one day they die and, their family takes their stuff and sells it for probably a fraction of what it's actually worth. In many cases, if I don't know what happens after we die in this lifetime, but if we could look back on Earth, and there'd be a lot of disappointed collectors watching their families, just sell their stuff for nothing. But yeah, the reality is silver is super expensive, and I don't know why everyone's so damn excited about it. I have paused stacking because I can't afford to do it right now. Even if silver was $10 an ounce, I still can't afford it personally for a little while. But I'd like to stack again. And when I get back into it, I don't want $50 silver. I don't want $100 silver. I want silver to be as cheap as possible. So again, I'm getting feedback from some people. I'm like, why are you so excited? Like, are you done stacking? No, of course not. I want to stack forever. So why do you want the price to go up? And the most common response I get is, well, I've invested into this real money and I want to see my investment, increase in value. I want to see it appreciate. Like, okay, I can understand that, but silver is not really a great investment overall. It's a hedge against inflation and, it's a great way to store wealth. You'll hear all these common phrases. If you're looking to invest money to just make profit, there's a lot better things you could do than stack silver, or even gold. Now, some people got super, super lucky, and in the last couple of years, they stacked gold and silver, and they've doubled their investment. That is rare. That's not going to just keep happening. So if anyone told you that, they're lying. Silver and gold have traded sideways most of our lives. It just so happens there's a boom recently. But in another video, I think I used the comparison to like a volcano. A volcano sits, no one really pays attention, and then all of a sudden it erupts. Everyone looks, oh my God, it's amazing. It's this huge event. That's what's happening right now. Silver and gold is the erupting volcano, but it can't keep erupting. It's going to stop. The show's going to be over. The lava's going to cool down. It's going to be not so fun anymore. And I feel like a bunch of people are getting super stoked, buying a bunch of silver at $50 an ounce, and they're going to be disappointed if the value drops, obviously. No one really knows what's going to happen. But I mean, it can't keep growing at the same rate. That is just a constant. I think a lot of people who are smart and understand this industry would agree with that. It can't just keep growing at a steady rate like that, right? So I would just give everyone a huge warning to go in with caution. I think a lot of people who are seasoned stackers, they're not going heavy right now. They are going light. They're kind of putting their stack on the back burner, because they don't want to be buying at $50 an ounce either. I'll tell you that there were a bunch of people that bought it the last time it was $50 an ounce, and that was many years ago. Those people are excited because they're finally breaking even. They've made let me get in here since I'm tight, investment, my huge quote. They made an investment in silver years ago, and only now are they breaking even. So that was unfortunate timing for those people. But anyway, like I said, no one has a crystal ball. No one knows what's going to happen. Things are weird. Things are happening that aren't supposed to happen. Silver hitting right now, like some people are saying the market is adjusting and it's correcting itself. The silver to gold ratio, that could be an entire video I could talk about. But historically, it's been way closer than it is now. I don't think we'll ever get back to anything like 16 to 1 or 8 to 1 like that. I don't think that's possible. I think 100 to 1 is like a good steady for probably the rest of our lifetime. It'll fluctuate. It'll go down to 60 or 70, and then it'll go up to 110, 20, whatever. But, it's a guess. My guess is as good as yours. But I did want to make this video real quick to say there is still silver in circulation. It's just way harder to find it now. But also to just say to proceed with caution. The silver price, it should be exciting when it goes down, because if you want to keep stacking, you want to get it as cheap as possible. I understand you bought some silver, you want to see the value grow. We all do, but only when you're done stacking. And I think for most of you watching, you're only getting started. Even if you've been doing it for 10 years, you got decades ahead of you. You want to leave a lot of money to your grandkids or your kids. You want to surprise them, paying off their mortgage or buying them a car. You see a grandkid turn 17, 18, or they get their permit, whatever. You want to give them a brand new car, sell a little of your stack. Everyone wants to buy silver super cheap, buy a bunch of it for decades, and then all of a sudden they want to see the price skyrocket so they can get a massive investment or return on their investment. The likelihood that's going to happen is very, very slim. I got super lucky 3 times in my life. Most recently was the most recent time, obviously. But I got lucky that I made a profit every time I sold silver, but I don't want to sell any of it. I want to stack and stack and stack. Ultimately, I wanted 1,000 ounces of silver, and I wanted to just really focus on gold after that. That's long gone. I have nowhere near 1,000 ounces of silver left. And I sold most of my gold, so it is what it is. But it served its purpose. It was always a savings account and for a financial emergency, and I've had those financial emergencies, and silver and gold did exactly what it was supposed to do, and I'm super glad I invested. So although I would personally advise, and I'm no expert, I'm not in a position to advise anyone on anything, but if you were asking, I would say tread lightly. I would say do not go in hard at $50 silver. You might regret it. But at the same time, I will pat you on the back if you're stacking silver and gold, because I don't care what you're paying for it, you're smart enough to keep doing it. And I think it's a great idea. I don't think it should be the majority of your investments. I think any actual financial advisor would advise 10% or less. A lot of millionaires, they got 5% into gold. Most don't even mess with silver. Most of those aren't even physical. Obviously rich people do have physical gold somewhere, I'm sure. But most of them trade in paper silver and gold in the stock market. They don't even touch the stuff. Especially silver. Like, I don't know any millionaires. I never heard of a millionaire that has, 5,000 ounces of physical silver. They buy gold. That's what they do. Gold is easier. There's a lot more value in a smaller physical item. So those people are investing in antique gold coins, pre-33 gold, stuff like that. And obviously gold bullion. For some who don't really care, they're not collectors. They might have, 5-ounce bars or 10-ounce bars or even single bars and, a whole safe full of them somewhere. Just in case they got to skip the country and those US dollars don't mean anything. But, I'm just saying, I know it's exciting. The whole thing is super exciting. If you got into silver, let's say last year, if you've been listening to me the whole time I've had my channel and I've been talking about silver and buying it and buying it and buying it, go buy silver, go buy silver, go buy silver. And some people were shocked when I recently said, don't buy silver. It's too expensive, right? I was a little wrong in the timing of things. I still think, I firmly believe there's going to be a pullback. I don't know what that really means. It could be a $10 pullback. It could be a $15 pullback. It could go to $70 and then stay at 65 for the next 5 years. No one knows. No one really knows. But like I said, that that volcano can't just keep erupting the way it is. It's going to settle down at some point, and when the dust settles, we'll see where everyone's at. But I would not be going heavy right now into silver and stuff. I mean, gold's a little bit of a different thing. But yeah, I mean, silver's expensive. I would be hoping and praying and have my fingers crossed that if I'm stacking right now, if I'm talking about you guys watching, if you're getting into it or just got into it recently and you're just super excited about it, it's probably not great to buy a bunch now anyway. A lot of people do dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging is a good idea. What that means, if you don't know, let's go ahead and flip this over since you've been staring at that. I mean, you guys know what a quarter looks like, right? But anyway, dollar cost averaging just means you consistently buy it every week, every month, every day, whatever your budget can handle. Some people buy a gold coin like 1 ounce gold every month. That's a lot of money. Some people buy 2, ounces of silver every paycheck. Whatever your budget can do, because you shouldn't spread yourself too thin. You got to pay your bills. You got to have a little money for savings. But if you can afford to buy some silver or gold, if you consistently do it, you're buying it when it's expensive. You're buying it when it's quote on sale, when it's cheaper. So you're averaging a price somewhere in between, and you get a pretty decent deal. I'll say that. If you try to time the market, which some people do, you can get stuck with buying a bunch of silver when it's really expensive, like people did the last time it hit $50, wink, wink, and be waiting years to get your money back. So you don't really know. Or you could get lucky and buy it when it dips crazy and then double your money, within a year. You don't really know what's going to happen, but the dollar cost averaging is a much safer bet for a lot of people and probably the better financial decision than trying to time the market, so to speak. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just want to share with you guys. Keep on hunting. Don't forget to look at your pocket change. You will not regret it. For every $1.40 in constitutional silver, these silver quarters, silver dimes, silver half dollars from 1964 and older. So every $1.40 in change is 1 pure ounce of silver. These are 90% silver. All right, so you guys can do the math, but, you find one here and there, it's definitely worth taking out and just bring it to a coin shop. Even if you're not into this at all, if you happen to see a, pre-64, 1964 or older quarter, just, bring it to a coin shop and get a couple bucks for it. Why not? Get yourself a loaf of bread or something, a gallon of milk. But that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. You guys let me know in the comment section what you think. I know everyone's stoked. Oh, my God, silver's going to get $100. You don't know what you're talking about, Jeff. I know. I've been wrong about a lot of stuff in my life, so I wouldn't be shocked if I was wrong about this too. But I don't know. I'm sticking to my guns here. There's a pullback coming. We're going to run out of lava, and that's it. The well will run dry, and some people are going to be mighty pissed. Other people are going to be happy. Just depends on who you are. But just proceed with caution. Don't get blinded by the excitement of the price. All right? Just because it's going up hard and fast right now does not mean that it's going to keep doing it. You just never know where it's going to top out. So just be warned. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.